Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Just Another Struggling Writer, the beleaguered author's one-stop shop for commiseration and hopefully inspiration. My name is Carrie Scher, and I am just another struggling writer. And today, you guys are coming with me on a day in the life of a writer with a full-time job, and kids, and school, and YouTube. Oh, actually, more accurately speaking, it's tomorrow you're coming with me on a day in a full-time life of a writer with a full-time job and all of that. Because I am not a morning person, and I sure as hell wasn't filming this intro at 6 a.m. So I usually start my day at 6:45. That's when my alarm goes off. And if you're thinking, gee, Carrie, that's not that early, you would be right. That's by design. I am not a morning person, and I have actually contrived to find the latest possible time to set my alarm that will still get me and the kids out the door on time. Lately, my middle child has had twice a week choir sectionals to prepare for a major performance coming up in a couple of weeks. But luckily, we did not have them on this day, so I didn't have to rush through getting ready. After I did the school run, I stopped and got breakfast like I always do. It is my one regular indulgence that I will not give up on. I need a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit and a large Dr. Pepper to start my day, or I will become She-Hulk. Hey y'all, I just pulled up to work, but before I go inside, I just wanted to pause and kind of fill you in on my day. The end of the month is my busiest time of the month. It's the only time of the month I actually have deadlines. I am in accounts payable and in accounts receivable, so I need to make sure all of our vendors are paid and that all of our accounts, like all of our outstanding things that we are owed, are also paid before the end of the month, which is Friday. So this is always the busiest time for me. I have to reconcile my company card and all the receipts and make sure all of the bills, again, are paid and correctly coded to the right accounts. And, it's just all that sort of fun stuff. So I've got that going on. That usually means that I can't do anything outside of that. Like, there is no time to take breaks to do any writing or anything. I am literally just sitting at my computer for 9 hours, pretty much trying to cram all of this work into a couple of days. That being said, today is actually unusual because I have my performance review, which I'm very excited about. So that is at 9:30. And then I forgot, I actually have a clinical trial appointment today. So I'm part of a clinical trial for my atopic dermatitis that I have pretty severely, or I did, on my feet. It's actually, I feel like it's working because it's gotten a lot better. But I have that in the afternoon. That takes a couple hours. They take a bunch of blood. They have to run a bunch of tests, EKG, ECG, one of those, I'm not sure. Blood pressure, then they do a skin examination. I have to fill out all these surveys about how I feel. We go over my history, like anything that I've taken, like medication wise. Anyway, so it takes like 2 hours. So my afternoon will not be as I had originally planned, which is fine. That usually means I get home a tiny bit extra early, and then I have to pick up my daughter from her, it's her 4th grade musical next week, so they have a couple of after-school rehearsals, so I've got to pick her up at 4:45. So I won't be getting started, not really any earlier than I would be otherwise. So, but yeah, that's kind of the portrait of my day. Like I said, I'm about to go step inside and get started. Let's get to it then. Okay, so it is now 1:25 and I am leaving work because I have a clinical trial appointment that I forgot about. So that is actually going to take up the rest of my afternoon. They usually take about 2 hours. And then I have to pick up my daughter at 4:30 from school. 4:45, call it 4:30. From school, because she's got a theater rehearsal. And then I'll be home shortly after that. So my day looks a little bit differently than I anticipated, but more or less the same. I'm just not at work. So I'm still not able to do any like writing, obviously, because I'll be at my appointment for most of this afternoon. That is what my afternoon looks like. Hello everyone. It is now 4:36. I am sitting outside my daughter's school waiting for her to come out from rehearsal. You may have noticed I am differently attired, and that is because my clinical trial appointment ended early because they realized that they didn't actually have the injection that they were going to give me in stock. They were waiting on a shipment from the pharmaceutical company, and they didn't have any more of the injections. And it's just like, okay, that's great. Why am I here? So now I have to come back later this week and actually get the injection. So that was nice, fun, annoying. Right at the end of the month, I'm having to take now 2 afternoons off, but they are paying me for my trouble for both appointments, so I guess that's good, but I'd really rather just have the time back. It is now almost 4:45. She gets out at 4:45, but I think they're actually letting people out. And then my plan is to get back to the house and edit the video I filmed yesterday, which was my March TBR for my other channel. Do that really quickly, then I have to take my other daughter to her weekly appointment, and that usually takes about 2 hours out of my evening. Hopefully I'll be back home by like 8:30, and if my editing is done, then I will just go straight into working on my homework. I've got a project due at the end of this week, and I'm trying to work on it a little bit every day so that I'm not completely overwhelmed over the weekend, which would be nice for a change. Look at me being proactive. So I need to do a little section of that. It's been taking me about 45 minutes or so to do that. And then, I've also got to film a short. I've got to film a 60-second book review, get that filmed, edited, posted. I'm going to be talking about Elantris today, and I'm kind of dreading it because I know Brandon Sanderson fans are passionate, and I didn't like it. So I got to do that too, and then I think I will be able to finally sit down and write. And part of the reason that I actually wanted to do this video this way instead of doing like a 3-day vlog like I normally do is because I wanted to see if I could still be productive with my writing without the impetus of the camera being on me. Because a lot lately it feels like it's almost performative, which in a way is not necessarily a bad thing because it's motivating me to write. Being on top of my content and making content about writing is motivating me to write in and of itself. But on the other hand, it is also like setting up the camera and filming and talking about it is also costing time and energy that I don't always have. And so sometimes on my days where I'm really low energy and really low on time, it can demotivate me from writing. Oh, there's a pretty doggy. 2 pretty doggies. I don't know what it is, but it's all white and it's fluffy as fuck. So I wanted to see if I could write without the motivation of the camera on me. And Monday, I did write. I did do my 1,000 words, but then yesterday I didn't write. So I'm, batting 500 right now. And yesterday I had some mitigating circumstances. My 2 older kids are in trouble right now for different reasons, and then they both kind of approached me to talk about it. And so we kind of sat down and talked about my reasons, the rules that they violated, why they're in trouble. I have always told my kids that I will never punish them without explaining why, the reason for it and what the behavior I expect is and how they, violated it or whatever. And so we sat down and we talked for like a good hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes kind of about everything that was going on. And that took a lot of energy, and it sapped time away from my evening that I would normally use doing productive things. Not that the conversation wasn't productive, it just wasn't content or writing or homework or anything like that. So I was a little bit behind the 8 ball getting started, and then I'm working on my project in pieces, so I did that. And then I confronted the fact that I'm actually a little bit blocked on this scene that I'm working on. It's a really instructive scene because it is bringing out a subplot that I've been toying with and I would like to continue exploring, especially in revisions. But now I need it to transition to bring up another plot point, and the two aren't bridging. After I was done with my project, it was about 10:15, 10:30, which is already like super late. I do not want to start a writing session later than 10 o'clock, but I was like, I'm going to at least try. Maybe I can at least get 500 words before I go to bed. And I just stared at that chapter and at that scene. I was like, I don't know how to move on. I do not know how to transition into the next part. I still don't. I slept on it, and I was thinking about it all day today. Not all day. I had a lot going on, but I've been thinking about it, and I'm still not 100% sure how I'm going to transition from this emotional moment for my semi-emotional moment for my character with this subplot into this other informative subplot. So that is the battle I'm going to tackle in tonight's writing session. So I'm going to go home, got to edit a video, got to go to my daughter's appointment. I'm going to get some reading done while I'm at the appointment, so that way that kind of knocks out that little checkpoint, and then come home, work on my project a little bit. I already know what I'm going to say in this section. It's just actually like making it sound good. And then writing. Oh, and the short. I've got to film the short. So that is my Wednesday. And that is pretty typical of my Wednesdays. My daughter always has an appointment. Sometimes she does it remotely. Last week she was able to do it remotely. This week we're going in because she does not like doing it remote. So we've got that every single week. And then I always do try to film a video on Tuesdays, or if it's a vlog, I do try to wrap them up by Tuesdays so that I can edit them on Wednesdays and then have them up on my other channel by Thursday. So editing and my daughter's appointment are pretty much always happening on Wednesdays. This is a pretty good, like, representative of my schedule. That is it. It is now 4:45, so I'm hoping the kids will be exiting the building soon. And then I will go home and I'll show you a little bit of how I'm going to go about doing all the things I just told you. Samoyed, that's what I'm pretty sure that dog is. It's still here, by the way. I think she's picking up her kid. After I got home, I needed to jump straight into edits of Thursday's video because I wanted to try and get them done before I had to leave at 6:30 for my daughter's appointment. And I also had to make dinner in that time as well. I also decided to time exactly how long it took to edit down 22 minutes of raw footage. I paused the timer anytime I was interrupted, like when I got up to start the pasta, and it ended up taking me just under 45 minutes to go from 22 minutes down to just under 14 minutes of footage. Like I said before, I am not that great at the editing stuff. Then it was time for dinner. On Wednesdays, since we have so much going on, I try to make something really fast and easy, and this week it was penne Alfredo. It takes 20 minutes and 2 dishes. It's a big hit in my house. Then we left the house at 6:30 to go to my daughter's appointment, and while I was there, I got a little bit of reading done. I'm currently trying to finish Sailing to Sarantium by Guy Gavriel Kay. Then after we got back, I sat down to film my 60-second book review. Normally this takes just a few minutes because by design I have to be brief in my summary, but for this book I really struggled with what I wanted to say, and I ended up recording 3 different versions, and that took almost 20 minutes, which I hate. And then I had to edit the damn thing. This always takes a little bit of time because I have to whittle down a synopsis and a summary of my thoughts to under 60 seconds, and it can be hard to decide what to include and what to leave out. Plus, my youngest was having a hard time getting to sleep and kept wandering downstairs to tell me about it. Hello, checking in again. It is now just 9:35 and I have finished my short. It's really only supposed to take like half an hour, but that one took me a while because I just really struggled with the script for this particular book. And then I kept getting interrupted during the editing portion. So it is what it is. It's now 9:30. I'm going to take half an hour to 45 minutes to work on my project. I have already kind of thought through what I'm going to put in this section of the paper. So hopefully it won't take a lot of extra time or mental energy. And then I will see what I can do about this scene that I'm blocked on. I'm not going to film working on my paper because both my phone and my camera are struggling for battery life, so I will just check in with you before I start writing. Hello again. It is now 10:15 and I'm going to do my best to get some writing done. I didn't get nearly as much of my homework done as I wanted. My brain just feels a little bit mushy and I was struggling. I got 1 paragraph. I was supposed to do 2. And I'm just going to take that. I'm a little bit ahead of the curve. I've been doing a little bit more every single day this week, all 2 days So yesterday and Monday. So I'm a little bit ahead of where I need to be. So I'm going to take advantage of that and just leave it for right now. Like I said, I feel pretty confident that I can knock the rest of this out. I could probably even just leave it until the weekend at this point. I've gotten a lot of it, not a lot of it, but like a big chunk of it done, where now I don't have to fear like laying in bed all day on Sunday doing it. Now it just might be a couple hours on Saturday and a couple hours on Sunday. But anyway, it's 10:15 and I need to get to work. I have glanced at where I left off in this scene, and I still don't know what I'm going to do. I think my approach is just going to be to just start writing words and hopefully find my way to addressing the next plot point in the scene so that I can just move on. It doesn't need to be smooth. It doesn't need to be particularly sensical. It just needs to exist. That is the approach I am taking for this block, because the last 48 hours has not done much to generate ideas on how to address it. So brute force it is. So I will tackle that. I don't know how much actual words I'm going to get. My goal, of course, is 1,000, but we're starting a little bit late. And again, I've got the Swiss cheese brain. It is now 10:15. I'm going to start writing. I will check in with you when I'm done. Okay, it is now almost 11. It is 10:55, and I am calling it for the day. I made a little bit of progress in the scene, not nearly as much as I would like. I only got 543 words, so not the 1,000, but unfortunately the Swiss cheese brain is really powerful right now, and I can't think of sentences. I just want to go to bed. I got over 500 words. That's my baseline, even though I really would like to get 1,000. I did make some progress in the scene. I am leaving it in a place where I know and feel confident I can continue tomorrow. I don't have quite as much in the evening time tomorrow, so I should have more time to get to writing. Fortunately, month end is still month ending, so the Swiss cheese brain may not be improved until Saturday. And with that, that's going to wrap up this day in the life of a writer who has a full-time job and kids and school and everything else. I hope you enjoyed this little look into my life. I had fun. It also taught me a little bit more about how to vlog better, so when I do vlogs, I will take what I learned today. So thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it. If you like my content and want to support the channel, please like and subscribe, or consider leaving a comment down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave me a cheese emoji for my Swiss cheese brain. In my next video, I am going to be doing a February writing wrap-up where I kind of look back on my month and take a look at what worked, what didn't work, some of my favorite lines and scenes, and then talk a little bit about my goals for March. I hope you look forward to it, and I will see you then.